about what is bioethics, its definition, how it manifests itself, how responsible leadership can be understood, for example, in the area of healthcare, or, for example, in the area of research ethics, where it is very important to have really responsible leaders. But there is a last challenge I want to pose, and I want to go a bit more global, as this is Globethics Net. And what I want to present is the problem of the lack of resources, basic resources in healthcare. And how do we understand this situation? How do we understand the situation of lack of resources and of, in a way, poverty in general? Should we think that it's part of personal responsibility, that people that lack resources are responsible because of that? You should think that if we think in this way, what we are doing is assuming that first, that there is a logic behind that if you work and you work strong enough, you will have what you merit and you will be okay. But this is so if you can think that there are no problems, for example, regarding the environment where you were born, that you had the opportunity of working or you had the opportunity of educating yourself. But this is not the case for many people. It's not an issue of working hard or not. It's being born sometimes in the wrong place, in the wrong family, in the wrong city or country, that makes it very, very difficult to trespass this situation. So this is a very complicated problem. And we should think then that if it's not just a mere personal responsible thing, we can analyze this issue of a problem of bad luck. We were born in the wrong family, in the wrong country, in the wrong situation, or as a problem of injustice. So if we think it is something that it's related just to moral luck, that, well, we didn't have the luck to be born in the right place and to have the right family and the possibility of being educated and having then a possibility of a job, we can think this, and the way we will try to solve it will be through like the traditional vision of this, and it is through beneficence and charity. And when we think in beneficence and charity, we are thinking that we can help if we want, but it's not an obligation. It's not the obligation we might have in other circumstances. For example, Kant would think that charity and being beneficent was an imperfect obligation, while respecting our promises or telling the truth was a perfect obligation. So this is one way of things, but there are other two, at least, which are quite important lately. One is the one that provides Peter Singer, that works with an individual perspective, and he will say that there is an obligation to help, that it's not a mere act of charity, and that we have an obligation to help the other people. And he will change how this obligation has to be fulfilled. But the idea is that each individual has an obligation and that we should help not only to our, for example, fellow citizens, but also to people that are far away from us and need our help. And there is a third position, which is even stronger, which is the one of Thomas Pogge. And he thinks that we do have responsibility for the situation of poor people. And in this sense, we have the obligation of not harming them. And this is a very strong obligation we should fulfill. And not only we personally, but also he thinks that the global order should be changed in order to alter this situation, this very unjust situation. So it's not just mere charity, but we're speaking of an injustice, as I was saying. So this shows us the importance of this kind of problems, and we can think that in the face of these kind of issues, we should think about what is our responsibility and how to fulfill this. And we can think in this way that there might be responsibility on an individual level, but there might be also, as Thomas Pogge thinks, by national states and also by the international order. So we should find the ways to really help and make, and this is also thought through human rights, how to help and put these people in the situation they ought to be, not the one they are now. So we can see that even if in bioethics, the issue of responsible leadership, it's not one of the main focus. We can easily think how to link bioethics with responsible leadership. To finish, I would like to say that there's plenty of material if you search in the library of Globethics.net in order to find different authors and different writings on all these subjects. And I hope this makes you undergo a new research in your life. Thank you.